You must engage the darkness. If you are going to regain the memories lost to you. You must stay strong.
A lone child's presence does not bode well for the circumstances.
No one can pass.
And inquisitive. It will be difficult.
Oh, that's just perfect.
But try to remember. You are never alone.
And here we are. Today I have been, since yesterday I guess, Joe slipped in, helped me out a little bit with these comic thumbnails as I was getting them started, and then all hell broke loose. I basically haven't stopped. I stopped to sleep, but that's about it. We got Collision Bomb already doing the wrenching. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So now that we've got the intro in there, let me go ahead and show you guys what we currently got going on with some stuff. We are in the last few days of our Indiegogo for Beckoned the game, in which case, 8 days. We are planning on a relaunch, just in a different way, but no hope is lost at all, and the comic book is just a way for me to start to work on that relaunch plan. So doing the comic book, it starts getting the awareness a bit more, and I think it takes the story in an interesting route of product that we could put out quickly, story stuff that people could get on quickly as the game is developing and gaining its momentum. So anyway, to keep going, Beckoned is a 20-hour JRPG epic adventure that follows three young adventurers as they scurry across these wild landscapes trying to reclaim a stolen necklace. And while they're doing that, they are pulled into a political upheaval between two major superpowers, Denethite and Loden crystals. On that, I'm going to start our music up because I got to start to roll here. So our perks are pretty cool because a lot of them are add-ons. They're not just standalones, which you could get, but you could add other things on, which allows you to customize your own package. The best pricing that's for you is the t-shirt collection because of already what you get. You get the game, you get the t-shirt, you get the posters, you get early access and device wallpapers and your name in the credits of the game. So if you click on that and click your options and then click to continue payment, the remaining add-on perks are right there for you to go ahead and add on to it. You want the postcards and you want the coins, and this is all for collectors. There you go. A nice size custom package for you, collector's package, and it always jumps all the way down to the page. But you can just grab a t-shirt, you could just grab a coin, which I've got a special thing to kind of hint at a little bit later in the show. The postcard collection is also just, a way that you can just have some memorabilia. All of this does come with some extra stuff here and there. I believe, the poster pack plus DM free. Let's see. Which I think it was once it starts getting into the game and t-shirt packs, the exclusive device stuff come in. That's why it's at the feature pack. We can put you in the game as well, put you at like a character designed off you, throwing right in there. And then we got sculptures as well, designed by me and resculpted by our guy Harry and 3D printed, and then I'll hand paint them and number them for you. We got some actual real tangible art pieces that will be 16 by 20, and those will be used for the concept art and promotional art for Beckon. And yeah, there's a collection to grab it all and to help us a lot. But anyway, alongside all the perks is the story, the game mechanic breakdown, the lore breakdown, our character bios, who you will be playing the adventure as, the towns we'll be going through, and they're just some of them, not all of them. And then the characters of Devanis are these. It's laid out in a specific order. If you go through and read all these and get familiar with this, the lore is going to start to form a bit better. And then, as I was saying, down past here, we talk about the platforms we want to do, such as moving from the PC and all of that to consoles such as the Switch, and then tell you about the team and how we need to expand. And then what we need, what we're looking for, and then there is a prototype on Steam you can go and play now, and let us know what you think about it. If you like what you're seeing and what you're experiencing, go ahead and let us know in the discussions. And again, if you like what you're seeing, come back here and hit us up with a little bit of something. But their stretch goals are pretty large stretch goals because they are major additions to the game, including an entire lighting system, which also garners a gardening system, so planting your own resources to craft your own items that you're going to be consuming in battle to stay alive while you're grinding. I've shown this before, so I'm just going to do it real quick. It's a two-dimensional object that it's my art animating in Engine, and I'm moving a light source around it. And because there's a material on each of those frames, it's able to cast this light shadow around it like it has form. And it works with the environments as well. So we can do a really cool day and night system to implement our gardening system, and allows for some very dynamic special effects and lighting. There's some closing thoughts towards the end, as well as a hint that this is just the beginning of the adventure, and then a glossary in case you're having problems pronouncing anything, and their descriptions as well, again, to kind of help you follow along. On our website, let's see, you can go to the Beckon side of it, and there's a novelization of a prologue, so you can read it like a book. And it's 12 pages long, so you just slide right through it. If you want to, just Control Plus, and it can then bring it back. So, anyway, guys, thanks for letting me shill that out for everybody. And now back to doing what we're doing. So I'm going to close out of this. Yeah, you served your purpose. So, who do we got in? Bangarang Noah, Collision Bob, yeah, perks are awesome. And then Josh Portillo, thank you, sir, for showing back up. Good to see you too, man. All right, so guys, let me guide you real quick. My comic layout so far is I'm working on my page 6 of thumbnailing. So yesterday I was here, and now I'm getting over to here. So I've got this shot that I'm trying just to fill up with all the narrative hints that I'm wanting to. It's a chamber with wizards, basically, and a crystal child in the center merging with the denethite roots. So our wizards are moving into place of the chamber. The real hard thing is going to be talking about this while I'm working on it and not telling you what's happening. Wait, go back to that other page. So here, Noah, let's work with this. So we got, hold on, let me do this in order. Page 1, which I still gotta continue working out. Page 2. Page 3. And this one, I'm still kind of working some stuff out too. Page 4. I noticed an easy fix that can help with the eye flow, the last page. What's the last page? I'm numbering them. Page here? Or page here? Because Joe and me were talking about this one quite a lot. It has very vertical due to the speech bubbles or dialogue bubbles that'll come around. The eye may dance, but page 6. Okay. Okay, yeah, cool. All right. So that's the one I'm working on now. Good. So what's up? I'm trying to get all of these solid forms in place and then play with some levels so the flow of the contrast helps the eyeball. But we've got one of our wizards following our other wizard as they're entering the chamber, and they follow at a distance. Oh, okay. Page 5. All right, yeah. So yeah, framing the way these are grouped. So that's probably where you're gonna hit me at, or it's somewhere in here. Let me full screen that, guys. So what you got, Noah? So I got them gearing up. I've got them gearing up, but he's telling him something. He's having to start to prep for what they got to do, and then they leave. Or they leave that the equipment chamber and enter their tuning chamber. So let's see. Top right, flip it. Now you have them looking. Page 5, my bad. Top right panel right. Now you have him look to the right. Flip his face so he's looking left. Direct panel so it's like on the page. Flip care face left. Okay. Word. Joe was telling me something about the 180 rule. I don't want to be flipping the camera too crazy as far as angles. So I was thinking, since we're always kind of seeing him, or we saw him from that side in the first panel, it's easy to kind of zoom in on him on that one instead of flipping him. But I could flip him. Why is that like that? You know what? First off, I'm going to merge them because something's hanging off on the side out there. Oh, yeah. So, guys, we're not giving up. We keep moving forward. The timeline for the comic stuff, if I can do this one and it goes great, I'll go backwards in the timeline from Beckon the game, which moves forward in game medium. So then by doing the reversal, I have the ability to not have to be linear with a lot of the books. I could be telling legends and stories and stuff that actually pop up later on in the game. Yeah. So flipping now. Yep. Okay, so and the focus stays on the page. You know, if it's looking off the page, right. Is that what you're kind of getting at? Is like now it brings the attention back to the, like you were saying, the eyeball flow. Yeah. We good, Noah? Or hold on, is there another? Because there's something else we could do too. I actually haven't tried that, but hold on, is it? Okay, and then, yep. Now, what do we think? Because my thought is once the bubbles go in, they'll be flowing some sort of either a straight down or they'll be speckled here and about in this side as well. We'll be having bubbles here, bubbles at the top here, maybe a quick little internal bubbles, you know, or narrative bubbles there. So I don't know if I like the flip or not the flip. What do you think, chats? The other thing is because of the frame here sees them moving one way. No, flip that bottom. Okay, gotcha. Word. And then that makes you turn the page, right? Gotcha. All right. So back to making some solid shapes here, or at least some solid contours. And yeah, like I was saying yesterday, my gestures are my scaffolding to render. I asked Joe about the whole the pencil stage, that it would really suck to lose the pencil stage, so I wouldn't be able to make that artist edition. He says, no, go ahead and do it, and just do an ink. Like, your inks are your pencils. So do just the black and white, just the inks. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm going to move forward with that. Because it's a whole extra process. And not that I don't want to give the process its proper respect. The way I approach things is I get a scaffolding, like these random scribbles you guys are seeing, but then you'll start to see me start to zip down into the further detail, and I'm carving away at something that was pretty ambiguous. And as I'm slowly rendering them, they're collapsing into these, concepts. So planning out the lighting and everything, I kind of do once I start getting a lot of that detail in there, and I can, like, even now I have a few ideas of light source, because this character here is going to be glowing bougie. So I've got all these in these areas of these solid forms that face that character are going to have the strong highlight. So everything on the opposite side is going to have a very dark, potentially black silhouette, contouring their surfaces. So, like I said, I'm going to try a few things out from what I was seeing from the Lucent. Mr. Blousecroft's art was actually pretty cool for me to see, because I love the detail, but at the same time, the simplification. Like, his approach to it is really clean. So you got a new fan, Blousecroft. To be honest, I didn't anticipate it to be that good. I thought it was all personality, but nah, that's some good stuff. So yeah, Joe knows what I usually do for, like, especially for these things. And if you're familiar with Beckoned at all, then this is the character. I'm going to bring him up. This is the character that we're in the chamber with. And look at all the details. Obviously, since I'm doing a comic book, this kind of stuff is just going to be, it's going to take me forever to get all of that. And I was telling Mr. Blousecroft that I liked a particular scene in his book which simplified rocks and shadows and still got the effect coming off. So I'm still putting a lot of detail here, but I'm going to be using light a lot more to describe my shapes, rather than put a hard line, highlights, shade. I still may do that. But my biggest thing is, if I could keep this pace up and Joe can stay he gave me some hints, had me do adjustments just like Noah just did. Hey, check this out. Might want to do this. As long as people are willing to give me that kind of heads up, then this is going to come along pretty fast. My hope is I can get done with this is what I call an outline, but a rough, so I can start actually going in and finalizing these things. but I don't want to get too locked into too many things because I may want to adjust things. One person's opinion may say looks cool. The other one says, this kind of bugs me. And then the other person's like, you know what? It bugs me too now. So, and then by then it's too late to fix. So I'm trying to work fast so I don't get locked in details, and then as well to keep it rough so people can help me and I can make the adjustments on the fly. Because some of these pages, like, I really like this one so far. You know, we're getting some interaction with the environment. I've got some ideas, lore stuff that's popping up on these. And then, you know, just small little details, small little things. But I'm starting to smell it. This one's just going to be a big environment, setting type shot. I got to work on that. But, and these frames will look good once they're all rendered up, but this one needs a bit of work in that background because it's a little bare. Note, when doing rocks, things or whatever they are called, place them so they direct the eye at the figure and doesn't get lost in the composition. We don't have to place them so it leads our eye to the next panel. We kind of want to stop and stay at that panel for a while so to make sure the figure doesn't get lost in the composition. Going back to page 6. Thank you, Collision Bob. So yeah, right. So I've got these forms here that are kind of pointing at this, but at the same time, I'm hearing what you're saying. And it's like, if I've got all these points pointing in these random directions, I'm making the eye scatter a bit. Now, because I want the eye to scatter, is because there'll be little details like other wizards that are already at work, already tuning, already doing things that are in other places of the chamber, higher places, lower places. But I need to accentuate my two story characters and keep them kind of framed somewhere in the middle of the action. And what I'm afraid of right here is that that's too low. It doesn't read that if there was maybe a pathway here, that if I set the pathway higher, I could put our character there, but then we start to lose it because they're way too far out. So then what's the point? Why not just make this one that character and then have the other one here walking off the path? The direction wouldn't go to here or to this panel, but other details of other wizards down here, you know, tuning and doing their stuff might start to guide the eye. Right, who's the focus of the panel? Ideally, these two characters here, and it's like dual focuses. It's a circumstantial focus, I guess, is what I would be calling it. Circumstantial awareness, another like set and setting piece. It's like we move from one set and setting to another. I mean, there's always things about like resizing a lot of it, bringing it back to maybe a smaller side panel where we just kind of crop this out or work this over. The characters that have to be a little bit bigger, I'd probably just run it off. I don't know. Go to those 2 points on the reader scans and panel. They will see the other two characters. So make sure we see those two. Yeah. See, that's what I was trying to go for. Is this one isn't really rendered yet, but like I said, I just showed the concept for him. So he's rather brightly colored amongst all the dark, and he's a loading kid, so he's going to be glowing a bit. So the eye is going to directly see that. Moving into the line, our eye can go here I mean, it's actually a reversal of the motion because we need to be moving this way, I would think, or down this way. So as we're reading the path, the character is going to be moving on the path, but to where? And I don't have a direction that leads us down into this small point. So the idea is I may be showing the other tuners as we have this character passing in front of them as they're in the background. So it's really an awareness shot. By the way, those characters, when printed, are going to be... Yeah. Again, Noah with the wisdom here. So it wasn't about shrinking. It was about enlarging and framing them properly. Yeah. There he is with that wisdom again. I love this kid. Okay, so yeah, we'll be... All right. Yeah. If I group them too close, so size will matter. So, all right. I paid attention that last time you told me for that first page. If you haven't noticed, let me show you that real quick. That character's a lot bigger on that page now. So I heard your point loud and clear. I just tend to forget. No, it's not out of place. It's just another small, narrow area. And then some other character. I mean, his size is... He's far away. But... Oh, come on. So they're not walking together because the tuning process is a very isolated mental practice. And so as they're entering the chamber, they are in kind of a constant tuning mindset. So it's like as soon as we saw one character leave one and start going into the chamber, the distance between them grows out of respect for what the practice entails. So again, I'm just a kid. Don't take shit. You know what? For that, Noah, that's going on that screen for a few minutes. I appreciate your help, dude. Don't second guess it. But guys, yes, our Indiegogo is still live. Can a miracle happen? We don't know, but is a comic book for Beckoned coming, ready to be launching by the time Star Circuit's Indiegogo is over? I don't know. Can I get that fast? Would people be worried about a comic that was drawn that fast? It's just a joke. Okay, here's what I want you to do. Create another layer and make a Z that starts at the top of the panel and go down the panel. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, again, making the eye go bleh. So, fancy Noah wants it to go, yeah. So, that's kind of the idea. The trick is this guy isn't part of that motion because the multi-layered tangle. So my idea is that it's doing this, which I don't think is... I think right when I did that, I've lost a few subscribers. because this frame will show some stuff that get us kind of curious about this form. And as our eye starts to wane over here to see what's happening, the first thing that from going left to right that would hit us would be here, but the size of that character might overtake. So we see this. Now place your fingers around that line, then make the rocks follow that motion. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Without the contrast or without the blacks in, you're not really seeing that this down here is way in the background. Like underneath this solid. Hold on. Dang it. Oh, dang it, Bobby. Second. Now I've lost a few more subscribers. So just doing this really rough, dude. So I'd say trust it to the basic Z. So the contrast of the lighting and distances and moving forward and back, and I've got more layers I need to add down here, but not too much, just a little bit. But this whole plane is different than a lot of this stuff. So this is the most distant. This is getting closer, or I would say this is in the middle ground. This is in the background along with this. And this is our foreground element. But like you said, that Z shape, not the ribbon shape, but the Z shape. Which again is, oh yeah, I forgot. Since there's a tuna here, and this is going to be start introducing them. Choo-choo. And that's too much back and forth, isn't it? But then in a more complicated panel, you know, something that has a lot more layers, but I don't know if that's too many reads. And then the next question would be, your jump from here to here was a little drastic, buddy. But like you're saying, if I draw the rocks to kind of start to point your attention that way, but then it's like, what are they tuning to? There's a lot of reasons my subconscious says it goes there. Which and then would send it that way. Brings us back down, but then back to the main panel. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Exactly. Yes. Like, yeah, go for that. Okay. Like that. Okay. All right. Yeah. Word. Gotcha. So yeah, guys, it's been fun because I've been trying to, since I'm not going fast to try to be fast. I'm going fast to not overdo it. I'm trying to get every step down one at a time, recognize my strengths and where I can use them. And my strength in this right now is I've already got the concept in my head. I've been seeing these images of this particular book, but as a movie in my head for years. So it's time to get all these images down. And I think the whole idea of going from a central spot and going out with the IP is pretty cool. A couple of people said they thought that was a neat idea. So, and then yeah, Dwight's working on some game stuff, so we're moving. If COVID didn't stop us, misjudged INDIEGOGO wouldn't either. Won't either. Not a total misjudgment, but our outreach, like I repeatedly have said now, was low. So here's how we change that. Not with one comic book, not with one game, but with something new. Just something fresh, something we could all kind of have a hand in. Like Noah sitting here and going, hey, make sure you draw this right. That's good. And I have a plan. It feels good when you have a plan. Oh, yeah. So the other thing I'm going to hint at. Hey, Collision Bomb, you still with us? I may announce this another time because I want to cross it with it. I want to double check our conversations with Dwight and me, and what we're so appreciative that everyone, helped us, so we're having some ideas on how to say thank you, even though it may not hit the goal. So, like I said, until I make sure, kind of don't want to say anything about it too much more than that. It's our way of saying, you'll see us again. This isn't over yet. It's safer. You think I should go ahead and say it? It's all up to Dwight. Collision Bomb. I don't think he'd care about me saying it, except then, I'd be like, uh-oh, you're on blast now, buddy. But no, we all talked about it, so pretty confident. I'm pretty confident it would be okay to say something, but maybe I'll wait until tomorrow. So, is what I'm saying. I mean, the trick is, it's only to, we're trying to do something for the people that backed us. Is basically it. Is like, if you backed us in any way, well, if it doesn't hit the goal, then you go and get that money back, so one way or the other. But for the ones that helped, we want to say thanks. And I'm saying thanks to some of you who have helped without having to do that too. So thank you for those. Well, yeah, like I said, I'll wait till tomorrow. Now that was, because like I said, we're all pretty sure about it. It's just I want to make sure that everything's good. It's like, what? They're giving out stuff, and then everyone starts donating $1. So like I said, I don't want to say too much because you never know what ideas people get. They put in $1, great if it gets to 68. funny. But yeah, it's been so interesting doing this. This is the first time doing it for me, and me and Joe didn't know anyone else particularly, and it was trying to get in, talking to some people that have. So, yeah. So also Joe was saying things like video games that are part of the indie comic culture. Do some rocks that are almost at an angle, highest point at the character and lowest point at the left. That will lead the eye down the page. Awesome. And Noah, this looks like rocks now. It will be turned into this substance called denethite. So I'm roughing in these natural shapes, and yeah, they come off rocky for now. It gonna get crazy nuts. Yeah, dude, it's all right. It's fine. Totally cool. Yeah, I think it's funny who does know how to say half of this stuff or know what I'm talking about. That's what I mean. I got to build the fandom. I got to make you like, after this, if I could get this book out, Noah's got to be like, dude, I know every part of what he's got. And then the same thing with the Maverick, which is where I was getting at with like CG-centric video games, is like a Metal Slug. Do a Metal Slug, you know, a side scroller platform shoot 'em up type, or I don't know, you know, I guess it would be in the creator's eyes what kind of game they could see their project in. But yeah, AR-15 orangutan. As a platformer shoot 'em up, that'd be nuts. It'd be so much fun to animate that too, if you do it in that pixel art style. I would try to do a little bit like the I don't know, the new Ninja Turtles game that's coming out. That looks, those graphics are still pixelated, but they're clean. Might have to work some more on those, on Noah's Rocks. And see, back in here, this isn't just pitch black. And for most of my panels, these empty spaces they're not going to be empty. I'm going to be placing background elements there, but things that'll just accent what finalizes into these pages. Things that help tell the story from the previous panel. You know, like who's nuts? What did I say now? Anyway, collision bombs calling me nuts. Noah's wanting directional rocks. I love it. Yeah, that character being enlarged, dude. I like that more. It made the bridge narrower. I mean, and I can adjust that too, but I like the framing of it. Remember what comics, the most important thing is to make sure everything is clear. Yep. And that it leads the eye properly. Every line you put down should help with that. Just keep that. Yeah, my line economy. You see how that's being used. But I hear you, definitely. And I guess that's where I was talking about with Bancroft's Rocks was the way the light was rendered. It really helped kind of direct some things. So if you're reading left to right here and you're left over here with this and it leads you in with these directions are kind of pointing against us from reading forward. So maybe changing the direction of those to start moving us over here. Or it's kind of like a wave. It comes up here, rides up this, and flows back down. But have them point. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. You point to the left. Lasso more. I know. Give me a bit. I'm testing. Come on, Photoshop. What are you arguing with me for? Oh, goodness. Yes, I know. Move. Okay. What then? We get the character, and then we have that nice curve. The bridge brings back to the left. So you're needing more of less stuff to curve. All right, cool. And these picky comic artists. I'm just kidding. Thank you, dude. I do need to make an adjustment, though. I don't like that. Messing with my feng shui. And now that I'm looking at it, dude, I've got this one sitting there. It basically blocks your direction. It goes, bam. No, not here. Not today. But I like the shape there on the edge. So, and it could be more like, it could be hazed out more too. So if I do that, let's see what happens. See if it sets more in the background rather than up front. Now watch this. I'm going to bring some smaller ones up in the front. Now I still got my shape, but now I don't have anything blocking that. You know what I means. So turn that back up. Sorry about that. I'm playing one song and humming the other. Let's take that down to... Okay, so... Hoorah! Back to... Let's merge some stuff. Stay clean. Aha! Well, where is that shake now? What's that shake there? Is it up here? Yeah. Okay. And Photoshop slows down. Okay, so time to put up some other stuff. Thank you, Collision Bomb. Come on, Photoshop. Did you not seriously put those marks there? Come on. Or did it and I just didn't see? Too many marks. So yeah, now I've got to move on to these lower sections if I really want to get those filled out now, or I start thinking about the other panels. So that's the other thing. Joe was telling me, you know, before we leave, I'm just going to do a review of it all. So I need to come back up in here and really figure out the framing of this. Would it be better for this not to be centered and be hanging on the left? That way the right side gives me some dialogue or space, or do I drag it to the right? Do I bring the shit further out to the side? There's, like I'm saying, that's why I'm liking the approach I'm going at this, because I get to move things around as going into it. And it sucks because I had a whole layer that had a much larger version of the landscape that didn't have the ship overcrossed of it. Let's see if we still have that. No, I don't think we do. No. So I'll have to redraw those. Yay! This one, I thought it was just too small. Like, for what I'm trying to show, it's just small, but it's like it's still a very distant shot. Drag the land to the right. Right, so it reads across the whole panel. And then we can do a box here, maybe a box here, and a box here, which would lead us down to here. And then down here. Where we would see the airship to airship. We don't see it yet, but there's an airship sketched somewhat there. And the line's going to guide us down. What's happening, Jedi? Jeremy's trying to be a comic book artist. And then we'll move into this next frame where we've followed that and we're following our character around the corner and down this ramp where one's going to start talking to him, which is where we get this full page shot of our guy moving towards the guy talking to him. Lessons. Yes, the shapes of the ears are different. I'll fix those. Then they exchange a load-in, and their friendly buddies basically going to their shift at work in the inner sanctum of the roots. So he takes his new little load-in, fastens it into a holder or a pendant holder, a load-in holder, tells his buddy, go ahead, finish gearing up, and basically use that load. Don't worry about attaching that load-in to his setup. Just wear it for the day, but begin his tuning, and he walks off into the into the chamber himself. Like I was saying earlier, to make the distance, it's a very, very personal thing to tune, and everybody, once they enters this chamber, begins to start tuning. Okay, we'll get to the okay weights in a second. So then we're getting everyone set up, or at least these two characters are getting into their chambers to set up for their job for the day. So page 3 is what he's going at. Page 3. All right. Middle panel. Is there a specific reason why you have the characters in opposite panels looking outside? Because I thought it'd be a cool dynamic. But back to what you were saying, flip them, right? And they are on opposite sides, right? Right. So here's what we're going to do. Where are you at, panels? There you are. Okay. I thought it would be a cool, like, artistic thing once they're colored in to have that center of the page of the design with two heads looking off the opposite directions. But yeah, flipping them keeps the cohesion of the scene better. That Miss Joe. I'm going to be working on one of my Wolvie Strange pages today. Oh, okay. Yeah. You were talking about your Doctor Strange and your Logan piece. Cool. Your Peter page that you posted up, that looks great too. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It looks good. Has that classic Art Jedi feel to it. It's awesome. Uh-oh, am I on the right layer here? Yeah, because when it comes to me solidifying these things into inks, my whole process is going to start I don't know. I'm going to have to find my style guide, which is what my first page basically is serving me right now. Is since it's pretty much set up on a technical side the way I'm happy with, I want to play with the render styles a bit and figure out my shape or my styles to shade the face or cut the thing, just all those different techniques. Like Frazetta, like I would love to get a Frazetta style, run with it or something similar, something that it definitely pays attention to the anatomy and accents it, but that's all really harsh, direct light on things, but it's also dramatic, so it's not a bad thing. What even is Art Jedi? I don't even know. It's the same thing. I said that to basically kind of troll your mind a bit, because for me, I have people say the same thing. Yeah, it's what's good about it? The style. Well, thanks. Can you give me anything else? Why would you want to know anything else? So I can maximize what's working. Most of the time, and I'll tell on myself, it's because people don't, they don't know what they're looking at. I saw it. I saw what was going on. Again, there's some anatomy stuff, that I would want to check with you. And it's that anatomy that is what I mean. So your Spider-Man anatomy, it allows you to draw the anatomy that Spider-Man would have. But is that correct anatomy for universal characters are there certain things that could improve with the anatomical work? Yes. Are there in my stuff? Look at these things, these little scribbles here. These things like anatomy. Who am I joking? But that's why I lend to your style. Or I say that really, Jedi, the trick is not only does it have your feature with your textures, your penciling, your shading, all of that you've been developing on your own, which is really great. But what's also consistent is your choices on anatomy. So just like I'm making choices on my anatomy that maybe I don't see as wrong, other people might see as wrong, or if I check it, somehow it's wrong. Joe ended up calling me one time talking about the longest process for doing a lot of what he was doing was checking his poses. I'm like, checking him? Why are you having to check them? And he just says it's got to be perfect. And I'm like, I got you. So check everything. Like I'm going to plan to check all of this. Everything I'm doing, I'm going to be checking it. How do you check it? Google Images, try to find something where you see a very similar pose and try to check it out. Or models, if you have someone who doesn't mind doing a pose for you, friends, whatever, that helps. Or yourself to, everyone's got a phone. See if you can imitate, the pose any. That would be, I guess, ways that I would try to do it. But there's so many professionals and good artists out there that probably be able to tell you guys much better stuff. Much better techniques. And I'm going to be having to find them too. I'm a hand model. If I was a hand model, I'd be the worst one. I'm missing a finger. Don't have fingernails because I got anxieties. So it's funny though. So Joe was telling me to vary the space between the slides or between the frames a lot. That the closer they are together, the faster the motion is implied, or the scene, I guess. And I don't want to stay to some certain measurements or some certain things. He kind of laughed at me a bit and said, it sounds like something I would do. So that's the thing, is like the spacing between frames too. I'm kind of yeah. No, like I think it's awesome how like just as I have Joe to kind of bounce off of, that wait, dude, if we were the ages of Jedi, if me and Joe were the ages of Jedi, and no, we would have done things differently. I mean, definitely you guys have got it going on. You're using that internet. That's why I came out of nowhere. I was the hermit. I think Jedi knew me when Joe started his channel, and I started popping up just in the chats of Joe's channel just to cause problems. Save room for balloons. Yep. That's what me and Joe were talking about. So that's the other thing I'm told. I was like, should I be writing a script like word for word before doing this? He says, no, just get the images out. But, the script's a lot easier to reword than redrawing a whole image, especially if you got the good shots. But think about the space. So yeah, like I got all this space here that's just rock detail boxes. I've got areas out, out here that'll just be filler space. Boxes. I got stuff over here that can be boxes. So yeah, I've got some spaces. I've been trying to think that he did say certain pages were starting to look cramped. So like this one. And then I moved this character all the way over here to give me space for more of them. I've got space over here. Not that much space here. I got space on the top here because this was actually just cropped out his face. So I made it a lot larger. And of course, Noah had me flip it. But then I've got all this detail and stuff, which I could speckle some more wizards out there in the distance. But yeah, and all this space here. Boxes. So yeah. Go back to the other page. I think 3. There's a right. So there's areas here and here, and then here. There's not a lot of space at all. It's like it would go right over his head. So I'll have to probably play with this. You would want it below his mouth. Okay, so. Oh, you're talking about in frame 2 instead of being up here, you want it down here. Okay. And then, you got the dialogues here. And then here, you can pop it right there. There's nothing really important going on with his body here. It's just there. And then we would get to go back to the other page. It's page 2. Or you said the other page, which I think was page 4, I think is where you're trying to get me to go to. Oh, the one I was just on. This one. Page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6. So this panel here with the head. So okay, right. All right. So if you're saying that one needs to be the below the mouth, and I was talking about his head being cropped a bit differently before. So what we could do is raise him up into the composition, finish out his character with boom, boxes. Right. Dialogue boxes. Move it to the right a bit. Okay. Oh, we could get the hand in there, centering the frame up a bit more. Come on, Photoshop. Speed up. I'm already 10 minutes over, guys, but I'm going to be doing this not streaming all day and all night, but I'm going to be still pushing. Like I said, I was on page 6 today, and thanks for all the help, because and for the other pages too, that's helped a lot. Might have to work some anatomy out here. But all of that helps so much, and yeah, like I'm not fine with that. Hold on. Jeremy's wild scribbles. But yeah, it does set me. I'm trying to like I said before, I'm not trying to do it fast out of disrespect. I've got a game I've got to make, and so it was all supposed to be hitting certain time schedules as far as hitting goals, hitting financial goals. And, well, I've always told Joe from the beginning, man, I should have done a comic book because it's looked like so much fun, and I could get it out of me without having to worry about, is it programmed right? Is it I mean, the technical stuff had to be right, but you got trust me. This is fun for me to be doing. So I'm trying to do it right, soak up all the knowledge I can. So if you got any you feel like sharing, thank you so much, and thank you for everyone that has. Yeah, I'm gonna be blitzing out. Now we have room for balloons, and we are still seeing the expression. Yep. Good move, good move, good move. And yeah, Jedi, keep popping it out, dude. And like I'm saying, I'm doing this every day at 4. So I'm not going to be telling you guys too much of the story. But yeah, you will be seeing panels working. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Noah, so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Scoots. Always dropping in those links. Awesome, awesome guys. Do check out our Indiegogo. Like I said, there's a hint to it. If you're part of our mailing list for a perk, then something might be happening even if we don't hit. So love you guys. I'll talk to you all later. All right.